Anna Rodney is the owner and founder of Chicago Family Doulas and Birth and Baby University. Chicago Family Doulas provides trusted expert support through pregnancy, birth, and postpartum. They offer in-person and virtual classes, birth doulas, and postpartum doulas. They provide live-in newborn care as well as daytime and overnight newborn care and support. Families feel cared for and are never alone on their journey. Birth and Baby University offers fully online evidence-based classes that prepare you for your childbirth, baby care, breastfeeding, and beyond, all at your own pace. Feel confident, supported, and empowered every step of the way. Trusted by thousands of families. Connect with them today at hello@chicagofamilydoulas.com and get the expert support you deserve. Welcome to the Mommy Collective. I'm Paulina Rowe, radio host, TV contributor, writer, and mom of one. This is where ambitious moms come to keep their identity intact while navigating motherhood. Here we talk about the real stuff: career, money, relationships, identity, and everything that gets messy in between. You won't find sugarcoating or cliches. What you will find are unfiltered conversations, real resources, and proof that you don't have to lose yourself to be a good mom. The Mommy Collective is here to remind you can be ambitious, you can take up space, and you can thrive in motherhood and in everything else that makes you, you. Before we get into the episode, make sure you're following the Mommy Collective on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram, and share this podcast with a mommy in your life who needs a little inspiration or just a reminder that she's killing it. Also, don't forget to sign up for our newsletter and leave us a review so we can keep showing up and reach every ambitious mom out there doing big things. Let's get into it. And we're back with another episode of the Mommy Collective podcast. So exciting. I feel like I've been really just so lucky. I've been getting like really amazing guests, and I feel very fortunate because this mom journey is already so hard. So I'm like, you know what? Let's listen to some really expert level moms, right? Who want to come in and obviously who like just share their stories with us and all their experiences and everything that we can. And today we are talking to Bela Gandhi. How are you today?
I'm so good. Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited that you're here. Like I said, I've seen you. I've seen you on my TV first and foremost. You know, you talk dating, relationships, right? All that. I mean, it doesn't matter what point you are in your life. If you are even, I think we'll talk about this too, but like even when you're married, like there's got to be some dating still going on, right? Within you and your partner, like
there better be.
That's what I'm saying. Like we got to keep that spark alive, and we'll definitely get into all that as well. And obviously, you're a mother. How many kids do you have?
I have 2 kids.
Oh my God! What are their ages?
17 and 21.
Stop it. Oh my God. Do you love this era though? I would never have known that. Like honestly, just looking at you, I'm like, I would have never known that.
Oh, thank you. I know. I feel like, I feel so much younger. Kids keep you young, I think. So I love this era. I've loved every era of having kids, but it's like anything. There are certain things that are hard, that get easier. And as your kids get older, there are things that, aren't so easy anymore. So it's raising this thing that you give birth to, ultimately, that depends on you, but you're raising it to become independent and not need you. So it's like this, it's an amazing experience. And there's nothing that stretches your boundaries of being a human being, like being a parent and being a mom.
100%. Oh my gosh. So yeah, you are in a whole new era. I mean, essentially, like you kind of, are you like an empty nester? Are we getting there? Where are we at?
Getting there. I have 2 juniors. So I have a junior in high school and a junior in college. So yeah. Absolutely. So getting to the point where I'll be an empty nester, but both of my kids want to live in Chicago. My family sounds like yours. We're very tight. We live within a couple of miles of each other, and my kids want nothing different. They want to be right here. My son said, Mommy, let's get a compound where we have 3 houses, where you guys live in a house, I live in my house, and his sister Jaden lives in her house. I was like, done.
Oh, how sweet is that? I love it.
I know.
That is so beautiful. But that's also a testament, I think, to, your journey as a mom, right? For your kids to want that and want to feel that. You are home, and I hope that my daughter, I pray to God that she says, I mean, I'll let her do what she wants, but I really hope she comes back and does say that, she would love to be near me, live near me. I just want her to be a part of my life when she gets older in that sense, because I know a lot of things change, right? We've all been there, if we're going to be honest. Like, I've tried I'm going to go move somewhere thing. And you know what I did? I came right back.
Come right back, right? We're like boomerangs.
100%. So Bela Gandhi is a dating relationship expert, TEDx speaker, founder of Smart Dating Academy, and even featured on the most national local media outlets, including Good Morning America. That is where I've seen your recent segment, by the way. I want to say it was maybe half a year ago, but I did see you on GMA. That's my Saturday mornings, by the way. I'm a GMA girl. I own it. It's just like my thing, my coffee, the baby, we're all up. Steve Harvey, Today Show, Kelly Clarkson, and then, of course, ABC, NBC, Fox, and so much more. And then Smart Dating Academy. It's become one of the nation's top dating coaching firms. So I can't wait to dive into that, because I do think that a lot of times when it comes to dating, and I've said this to you kind of off the air, it's got to be different when you have kids. And I am married, but I have, I was raised by a mom who got remarried, right? I have friends who are unfortunately going through a divorce, but have children, right? We're kind of at that age now. We're like 30s, almost mid 30s. So shit happens, life happens, right? And
Amen.
It's real. It's so real.
It's so real.
I want to dive into all that with you. But first and foremost, I kind of want to talk about Smart Dating Academy, right? Sort of how that came to be. How did you sort of get to this place, right? Today in 2025, how did Bela Gandhi get here? And, why dating? Why relationships? Why was that so interesting to you?
Pinch is a concierge med spa that brings treatments like Botox, chemical peels, and microneedling straight to your door, because self-care should work around your life, not the other way around. Their board-certified nurse practitioners deliver medical-grade results, minus the med spa waiting room. Book solo or with friends, they call that a pinch party. Whether it's just you or a whole crew, it's expert care delivered your way. Visit bookpinched.com now.
I realized early on when I was in college that I had a knack for this. I was always the girl in the center of the group, had a lot of friends, kept friends, had lots of relationships, some good, some bad. But then I started to look for patterns and kind of develop this worldview on relationships that I started to, number one, coach myself on. I have a great husband. I've been married for over 20 years, and I started to help all of my friends, Pauline, figure out, okay, this dude has 20 red flags. He's out.
Literal red flag in your hand.
Literally, I had a red flag in my hand. And these other, I think you should go out with this one more. And so I became known to everybody as their dating oracle. So I have a degree in finance in German and worked in mergers and acquisitions, then ran a manufacturing company. But when we sold that company, I had the opportunity to think about what my purpose was and what my gifts were and how I wanted to impact the world. I'm like, what would be better than teaching people how to date to find lasting love? Because I know how to do that. And I developed a model, and I'm going to spring it on the world. So that was 2009. And here we are in 2025.
I love it. Oh my God. Yeah, and we're still going strong, probably stronger than ever. I love that, especially too. I mean, we'll talk about this, but I'm assuming dating has changed post-pandemic, maybe even post whatever. It's different than when I was in a college, right? Even high school. I didn't really have any boyfriends until I was older. That's I call it my biggest flex. I don't know what it is. I just was always my own little miss does whatever she wants type of thing. But I just feel like dating is so much different, but it's interesting. And I know we'll dive into this too, but I met my husband on a dating app. And I think that's so, but I think the statistics are not on my side with that, which I think is so interesting from what I've read. I mean, I am not the expert, but I was like, really? Because I feel like that's so common today.
It's so common. I mean, even when I started this business, it was 1 in 3 marriages take place because of online dating. I think that number has to be 1 in 2 at this point. Now, are the apps easy? No. Do they kind of suck and feel like human eBay? Yes. Okay. However, it's the best time in the world to date. If we didn't have the apps, how would we meet people at any age? My kids and my daughter's in college. Last summer when she was home, she was going on a lot of dates through what? Bumble. on
Ooh,
the
okay.
dating apps, right? And I'm like, you're 20. You should be out and about, meeting people in class, doing this, doing that. She's like, this is the way everybody meets.
Interesting. Okay.
Gen
See,
Z grew up with smartphones.
yes, I was just about to say. I mean, what about like Instagram and I don't know, Twitter or Facebook? Is that another form of online dating? I guess it can be, right? Like I've met people on Instagram. Is that weird?
No, I mean, look, slide into the DMs, right? I mean, for younger generations, they snap each other, right? So it's like social media really ultimately can be dating apps, right? Look at Facebook now has a dating component to it. I have a client that got married to somebody that she met off of Facebook dating. So
Interesting.
look at any way you can meet another human as a potential pipeline. Because why not? You can meet people at work. You can meet them at church. You can meet them on the L. You can meet them in class. You can meet them wherever. Just be open to the possibilities.
100%. I agree with that. And what about back when you did start your business? And obviously you were a mom to two already.
Correct.
What was that balance like? What was that sort of, I kind of want to take it back just for a second, just because I'm always so curious, right? The days are long. I know that they say the days are long, the years are short, but I am tired by the end of the day. So how does someone like yourself create this successful business while still raising two children? They were smaller at that time too. So like, how did that even work for you and your family?
It was hard. I mean, my kids were 1 and 5
Oh my
when I
God.
started my business. So imagine you've
Babies.
got your 1-year-old. I also had a kindergartner at that point. And so when people ask me like, what made you do this? I was like, I don't know. It was probably sleep deprivation, like lack of oxygen or something.
Right.
But it's the best decision I've ever made. My mom tells me this is my third child, which it really is. And I think that it was hard in the beginning, right? You are sleep deprived. I mean, when I started this business, I was going to singles events as a married mother of two just to meet people, right? And then you walk into these events and people think you're single. And then it's like, when I think about what I did to get this thing off the ground, it's like you just kind of do what you have to do, right? And people say, can you have it all? Right? When you're a mom, can you have a career? Can you do this? Can you be married? Like you can have it all. You just can't have it all every day. And you will feel like you suck at all of it and that you're crazy all the time. So that's my, thank you for listening to my TED Talk.
No, but that's so real. And that's what I try to tell people. It's like, can I have it all? Well, first of all, right, can I have it all means different things to different people, right? Like some people are just very flat out, like, I want one child, which is myself. I'm pretty set on one and done. But then there's people who want more. So then that will require more. So like all of that, I think just really depends on who you're talking to. But yeah, sleep deprivation, all of that is so real. But I love that you still went after your dream, even with a 1-year-old and a 5-year-old, which are both really, I mean, they're such fun ages, but they're hard. Those are hard. It's a lot going on. So like, what about becoming a mother for you, like changed kind of your perspective or maybe what you value in romantic relationships, right? Like once you became a mom, did you look at love differently? And not like with your children, but like as far as like your husband, like did you guys, I don't know, experience any kind of bumps in the road in your early stages of parenthood, or were you guys kind of more on the same team?
Oh yeah. I mean, some of our worst fights were because of sleep deprivation, right? And my husband had a job that he was traveling all the time. So I had a business and 2 little kids at the same time. And it was hard, right? And so he got a job where he wasn't working out of town 5 days a week. I'm like, I didn't sign up to do this alone. So there are big things you need to navigate. And so what I learned is you have to both support each other through this. It's not all about one or all about the other. It's about the two of you and making it work. And because it's a partnership. Ultimately, having a family is a business. It is a domestic partnership.
Yeah. No, it is. It is like running a business here at the house, I've noticed, because sometimes like I'm busy. I'll be doing this podcast. I'm going to work. I have the Fred show. I have all these things to do. You're going to handle dinner tonight. You know what I mean? But tomorrow he might be working or might be doing something and then I will handle it.
Yeah.
And
we had a lot of help. I had a nanny.
Yes.
And because I was like, as a mom, I deserve help.
I love that. I love that.
I deserve help. And to this day, I still have my nanny who comes a couple of days a week, because what was important to me is that we all ate well. We ate fresh, home cooked food. I grew up in a house like that. My mom didn't work, but she always provided that. And I thought, well, if I want that, I'm going to hire it out. And I did. And it was a game changer, right? For our house. I thought, if I'm going to work out of the house, when I am home with my kids, I want it to be quality time. I want to walk in like I'm a dude and there's dinner on the table, and I get to sit down, kick off my heels and say, how was your day? That's what I did. I hired a wife, and it was the best decision ever.
I love it. Oh, I'm waiting for that day. Even if it's just like part-time help, because like you said, I deserve help. And I
deserve help.
Such an advocate for that. And I'm always saying, like, first of all, this was never meant to be done solo, right? So first and foremost. And by that, I mean the village. And whoever made that saying up, whatever, they knew what they were saying, because it is so true. I always say I am not the mother I am today without my mom or without my mother-in-law and my sister-in-law. She was just here. Like, they all really hold me down, even though I only have one child. Like, just seeing her village surrounding her and always being there for her, and then helping me, and which then makes me a better mom. I'm like, I'm not going to play the suffering Olympics here. Like, I don't care. I'm not suffering. Like, we're going to get through this. I'm going to be a good damn mom, and I'm going to accept help. And like you said, you told me earlier too, it's like, I am lucky, right? Because my mom is literally like, 5 minutes away, but I designed it this way. I said, I'm staying.
That's amazing. Yeah. And you're really lucky that your family wants to help out that much.
Yes. I'm like, please, thank you. No, they're the best. I appreciate them. So obviously I kind of want to talk about your business model, right? When you kind of created Smart Dating Academy, what was your first initial, because I know businesses evolve, right? So kind of what was your first initial introduction to the world? Like, because at that time too, like you said, dating's different. Dating has evolved. What were some of the issues that I guess you saw back then when you had clients, right? That you were helping them work through versus today? Like, what is the biggest difference in dating?
Red Barrel has always been a place where families come together, and that tradition continues under the care of brothers Luis and Carlos Vasquez. Once a beloved neighborhood landmark, the restaurant was brought back to life when the brothers purchased and restored it in 2017, determined to preserve its legacy for the community. Drawing from their own journey, starting out in Chicago with humble beginnings and building a successful construction company, they poured the same dedication into creating a restaurant that feels like home. Today, Red Barrel offers a warm, family-oriented atmosphere, serving a menu that blends Italian, American, and Mexican flavors while giving neighbors a place to celebrate, connect, and make lasting memories. Be sure to check them out in the Archer Heights neighborhood.
Well, one of the things that I saw, I think to some extent, dating is similar. Humans haven't changed much in 200,000 years. We haven't evolved. We're a very slow species to evolve. When I first started my company, I was actually thinking I wanted to be a matchmaker, like one-on-one. You could hire a high-end matchmaker to find you dates so you didn't have to do the work. And one of the things I found so fascinating is everybody wants to outsource their dating life. Everybody wants to pay a matchmaker, like, just find me someone, don't make me go on the apps. But at the end of the day, that's not where the real value was. The value that I quickly saw is this the right person for my client long term? Are they relationship ready? Do they share characteristics that make each other happy? Is the relationship easy? And so I stopped matchmaking altogether and developed this coaching program, because that's really where the secret sauce is. There's lots of different, what I call lids to your pot, right? There's a lot of people you can make it work with, but you have to know a system. Who is the kind of person that's going to make me happy? What are red flags that they're going to throw down early on? How do we pace this relationship to make sure it can stand the test of time? What are the things we should be asking, finding out about each other before we forget about become boyfriend, girlfriend, or girlfriend, whatever you're doing, but obviously before you come to the altar as well. So that's what we help people to do at Smart Dating Academy. Is truly is a teaching program that teaches you how to date smart, pick the right people. You learn a system, and then you have a one-on-one coach that walks you through this week over week.
I love it. I think that's so beneficial. And especially when you mentioned, like, there are so many red flags that I also have in the past. I'm not going to pretend like I'm Miss Perfect that I've ignored. You know what I mean? And I think maybe now that I'm older, I see things a little bit differently. Obviously, becoming a mom has made me see the world very, very differently. But I think the work that you're doing is so important and really, really impactful. And that's why I want to talk about it here, especially when it pertains to some of our moms, right? Because this is a huge podcast for moms to come from all walks of life. But we do have a lot of single moms or moms that are separated or whatever it might be, right? Or divorcing. And I think that one thing that I've noticed within that community of moms that are separated, right? Or divorcing, but they have children is a lot of fear. There's a lot of fear in that. Personally, I'm on TikTok a lot, and there's videos that really piss me off, right? And a lot of those videos, and a lot of these are like little bots and men that I can't stand, who will say comments, and I think they're horrible comments because like I had a step parent, like lived this experience. But a lot of times, I think people think that if you have children, you won't be able to date again, or it might be really difficult to date again. And I don't believe that. I don't think that's an ounce true, but I also feel like it's got to be a little bit different. Maybe your guard is up differently. Maybe there's just different kinds of men that you might date now. So kind of talk about that as far as even maybe your clients or what you've come to see, when it comes to moms who are single moms and they're looking to date. What's like your best piece of advice to give them?
I have so many. The majority of my clients are single moms or single dads also. So many. Remember, because it doesn't just have to be single mom of a young kid. It can be single mom of grown kids, right? But you're a mom no matter what. So yeah, most people have children. So I think that the way we date obviously should change, because now you're not only looking for a partner for yourself, but someone that's going to partner with your children. Right? This isn't just about you. If your kids can't stand this person, or this person says, I don't really do kids, that's not a partner for you. You signed up to have kids.
No, that's very true. And I guess in a way, would it be better if that person was upfront about it and said that they would rather not date somebody with kids? Is that something that you advise when it comes to dating?
Like if you don't want kids and you don't want to date someone with kids, it's going to limit your dating pool a whole heck of a lot. But yeah, it's better to be upfront about that. I have clients that are now, let's say in their 50s, and people are having kids older now, and they'll say, okay, my kids are grown and flown. I don't want to sign up for being a step parent to little kids, which you can understand once your kids are older. So there's a lot of layers to this. And it just depends on where you are in the process.
That's very, very true. And what about, do you see single parents, single moms or dads that are dating? Do you ever see where someone's mind might change? Let's just say I met someone, I'm dating him, and then obviously I tell him I have a child. Then, he's like, oh, I don't really know if I want to do the kid thing. Have you ever seen it where it comes back the other way, where the person changes their mind or they try the relationship, or you kind of like stay away, like don't even?
Yeah. I mean, I think typically, I have a client, a guy, his name was Fred. He was a high school teacher out in the suburbs here in Chicago. And he was a single dad. And he said, you know what? I know how hard it is to be a single parent of a kid. I don't want to date somebody that has kids, because one is hard enough. And I said to him, but Fred, you're eliminating a whole portion of the population of women that are going to get you and get the complexity of your schedule being a single dad, right? And shepherding a kid back and forth and having weekends off and this and that. And ultimately he said, all right, I'll open my net to dating women with children. He ended up marrying a woman who had adopted 2 girls from Asia. So his son now had 2 stepsisters, and it was lovely. But opening your mind is really important. And he opened his mind, obviously, through my process. Now, if you're going out with somebody who is like, I don't want to be a step parent, I already know that. Listen to what they tell you.
Listen.
People show us who they are. It's up to us to believe them. You can't change somebody. The only thing they can change themselves, but you cannot change them. So don't walk into this saying, but wait, you just haven't met my kids yet. No. If they said, I don't want to be a step parent, I don't want to do the kid thing, they don't want to.
Yeah. No, it's not your job to change somebody else's mind, and you don't want that. You can't.
And you can't.
No, that is so real. And what about any advice for moms who might feel guilty about dating while having, raising their children? I think that's got to be another thought of feeling guilty in terms of time, right? Because when you're dating, that takes time away from your kids. It can essentially, or just feeling guilty of, I don't want to introduce somebody to my child, which I'd love for you to kind of chime in on that part too. When's the right time? So what do we do with the guilt?
Well, guilt sucks. First of all, get rid of the guilt. Okay. So as a single mom, especially when your kids are younger, you can use video as your best friend. Once your little one's asleep or your kids are asleep, hop on a video and talk to this person before you have to agree to zhuzh up and meet them out. My clients that don't even have kids at home, I have them do video before they meet any prospective person out, because why wouldn't you? Protect your own time. Right? You don't want to go out with someone whose photos are 10 years ago or 50 pounds ago or 5 teeth ago. Get on a video and just vet that this person, you have a connection with them and that you would want to spend 2 hours zhuzhing up to go meet them. That's single parent's best friend is video after your kids are in bed.
I love that, because one thing that we don't want to do, especially as parents, is truly like waste our time, right? Or
totally
put time into something that might not go anywhere. And then if it's as simple as a video call or using video to sort of work through that, if you know what I mean, and figure that out, I think that's awesome. And that can be your best friend.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can date around your kids' schedules. And you asked, when do you introduce someone to your kids?
Yep.
Later. I don't let my clients introduce their kids until they've been exclusive for 6 months and there's no red flags. Kids get attached so easily. You don't want a revolving door of mommy's newest boyfriend, right? Who then leaves 60 days later. Be guarded. These kids have giant hearts that attach so easily.
I know. That's so true. Okay, that's great advice. So we're saying about 6 months, no red flags.
After exclusivity, right? Like you're going to be dating. I want people to have a dating funnel before they agree to narrow it down to one and have a boyfriend, right? I like titles. I like conversations. This is what my program is about. Everybody needs to be clear and on the same page.
Now, what about introducing, or maybe not even introducing, but mentioning your new partner after you're being, you're exclusive, after whatever, like, there's no red flags. What about telling your ex-wife, your ex-girlfriend, your ex-boyfriend, right? The person you share a child with, that's the parent of your child, the other parent. Do we have to tell him or her that we have a new boyfriend or girlfriend in the picture? Do we do that?
I mean, if your kid's going to out it, you're probably better off getting in front of it, right? But I don't think you owe anybody anything. Just always manage the situation smartly. And don't tell daddy, right? Like that, the first thing they're going to do, somehow it's going to slip up. Mommy's new friend. Oh, I wasn't supposed to say anything, right?
Yeah, no, that's great advice. Yeah, because at the end of the day, like, kids are smart, believe it or not.
Yes,
kids are super smart, and
they
you're right.
Have to keep secrets.
I agree with that. I love that advice. What about some of the red flags that moms should look for when they are dating someone new, right? So let's just say newly single mom, first time dating in a while. What are some red flags?
Well, don't red flag yourself. Have you done the work to realize, why did I get divorced? What happened, right? We all had a role in what happened. Do you have a bad picker? Have you picked the wrong people that have lots of red flags? That is your work to do, right? So have you done that introspection? And do you now intentionally know who you're looking for qualities wise versus just someone hot that you have chemistry with?
I like that. Okay. Yes. And red flags, I mean, could they be as simple as like, he doesn't text back, in a certain amount of time? Like, are we focusing on those small red flags, or should we like look past those in your opinion?
I don't like too much texting in relationships, right? I think that texting creates premature intimacy. But if someone isn't responding to you for a few days, it's kind of a red flag, right? And most importantly, if they're not showing interest in you at a measured pace. I don't need somebody blowing up your phone 87 times a day. Again, but we have a whole dating system. I want you to not go out with someone more than one time a week. Like, let's say you meet someone named Mike and you have a good date with Mike, and Mike wants to see you again tomorrow and Thursday and Friday and Saturday. Nope. you punt until the next week so that you leave room for other people and you keep things slow. So red flags are somebody who doesn't respect your speed.
I love that. That is true. So you mentioned other people. So do you feel like when somebody is back out there freshly dating, obviously in the situation, possibly a single parent, do you believe that they should be, I don't know, essentially dating around, meeting people, going on multiple first dates?
Yes.
Yes. You love
Yes.
that? We love it?
Hard
Okay.
yes. Hard yes on that, right? Because this is like if you were looking for a new job, would you just interview at one place? No, you'd have
No.
your feelers out there. You'd be sending your resume. You'd be networking. You'd be looking because you know a first job interview is going to go to the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth. Some are going to want to hire you. Some won't, right? And so you've got to have multiple irons in the fire.
Yeah.
It's the common sense way we approach our portfolios. You're not going to put all your money in one place. You're not going to put all your, and here in dating, we just don't have the same rationale.
Yeah, no, that's real. I mean, you should definitely, I guess, see what's out there, explore your options. I'm not mad at that. And what about Bella, like when it comes to being in a serious relationship, right? So again, you're post divorce, whatever it might be, you meet somebody, you guys are serious. But your kids or your child or your kids don't really gravitate toward that person, right? They don't really like that person. Obviously, it could be a multiple reasons why, right? They're upset, they're jealous that the mommy or daddy is being, taken away. That's how they feel. Or maybe that person isn't mommy or daddy. So how does one navigate that part when you're with a great man or a great woman and they're a great person that you're dating, but, little Timmy doesn't really like them very much?
You got to look at, is it a little Timmy issue or is it an issue with your partner, right? I mean, I've had clients that are amazing, get involved with amazing people. One of my clients that lives in Chicago is in her 50s, met a man who was a widower and he had 2 kids. The daughter loved my client, like couldn't get enough of her, but the son had not fully grieved his mother, didn't want to be in the same room as my client. But her partner knew that this was an issue with his son. His son wouldn't go to therapy, didn't want to go through the grief process. But the dad was smart and just said, okay, he's going to come around.
Yeah.
And now they're engaged.
And they're engaged. I love it. I love it.
So it could be a kid issue, could be your partner issue. You have to say, who are both of these people and where is the issue?
Yeah, you also kind of mentioned something that I thought was that's very real, but it's, the grief thing that could, really make dating difficult. And whether that's, your partner passing away, which, absolutely can happen. And I know a young couple that has happened to, and they had 3 children, very, very young. I think they're 3 under the age of like 7 or something.
Awful.
Terrible. Like I'm honestly speechless. It's just it's so heartbreaking. What's your advice to a parent that is a widow, right? And, doesn't have their partner here anymore, their spouse, but they have children or they have a family and they know they don't want to be alone forever, right? They want to go back out there and date. What's your best advice for navigating that, especially when somebody passes away?
I think it's different for everybody. My best friend became a widow at 45 years old.
Oh my gosh.
Very suddenly with a 7th grader and a 9th grader. And she said, I've got 2 teenagers. She was in a massive amount of grief and just turned inward and raised her kids, did not go on a date for 7 years until her youngest went off to college. She now has a boyfriend who's amazing, but every mom is different. Every person handles their grief and their family situation in a different way. And I just say, what's best for you.
Yeah. No, I think that's great advice. And I don't think it's ever an easy situation for any family. I think that's so heartbreaking. And I'm so sorry for your friend. I mean, that's...
Thank you. And she's got a great new boyfriend now. I just had dinner with him on Saturday, right?
Oh my gosh.
She's like, how did I get a best friend who's a dating coach? I'm like, because you're lucky.
I love it. Oh my God, your friends must love you. So you're the good one in in the friendship circle. You're the one that everyone's probably blowing up all day and calling or texting.
All day.
Oh my God, I kind of want to shift gears to kind of talk about
marriage, right? The married couples, engaged, whatever it might be, who have children or couples that have been together for years, you know what I mean? So I'm married for, I don't even know, 2-3 years now, but I've been with him since the pandemic. So 2020. And I still, for us, dating is important. Our dating life looks different. Obviously, we're not younger like we were at that point. We're not carefree. We have, houses and kids and things going on in our lives. So our lives are very different than when we first met. But what's your best advice for married couples, right, with children who want to keep the spark, right, who want to keep dating each other without, making it corny? Like you want to make it exciting.
I think a good, exciting connection comes from a good emotional connection. You have to really nurture the emotional connection. Everybody talks about the spark. It's like, okay, ultimately, like, yeah, you can go out and buy a new, piece of lingerie or whatever. But if you're not feeling connected to your partner, it's game over, right? We don't have great sex with people we don't feel emotionally connected to. So you have to nurture that. And if a relationship is like a black, glossy bowl, okay? Like imagine that. And what happens when something is black and glossy? It shows dust really fast, right? Imagine it sits on your living room table. Every day you have to go in and look at the container, your relationship that is black and glossy, and you have to wipe that little piece of dust out. You don't want the dust to build up, right? Because then the bowl looks ugly. And then you got to scrape at it to get through the bottom of it. No. So you have to look at your relationships like that. Like you want to keep that container clean, right? People are like, well, I'm going to pick my battles. This annoys me and this annoys me and this annoys me. Talk about it. Get to a better place, right? You don't want death by 1,000 paper cuts.
100%. No, that's very real and very honest, right? Because like I think people do, and I've done it in my marriage where like we'll put a Band-Aid on something. So, there'll be, like you said, lingerie or whatever, but I'm just like, no, like, and I told my husband this recently. I was like, I felt like, we were able to be so intimate last night or whatever, because I felt like that day and this might be a me thing, but like you heard me out, like, you were holding it down at home while I was doing like all this stuff for work. Like you made me feel seen. You made me feel super heard. Like it was just a really good day where I felt like you were like pouring into me. And because you did that, you got what you wanted later on. I mean, we both wanted it, but you know what I mean? I was like, I just felt really good. I felt really, I felt fulfilled in my marriage. You know what I mean? Because it was, to me, I don't know if it's because I'm a woman, but I just felt so like emotionally good. So
you just hit my point exactly. We feel emotionally connected and we feel safe.
Yes.
And we feel heard. And we feel provided for in whatever way. And I'm not just talking about financially, but like, did you take care of me and my needs?
Yeah.
That's what we need as women.
I love it. What about when you are searching for a partner, right? So like anyone who might be single, what about if there even is a way, can you kind of predict or see what kind of parent somebody might be? I kind of just started thinking about that, right? Because like obviously I knew my husband before he was a kid, before we had a kid. And I mean, he's an amazing dad. And I mean this in the way where like when I would see him, I wasn't sure what kind of dad he would be. I was so scared. I'm like, oh my God, you're going to like not know anything. You're not going to know how to hold her. I don't know. He's the best. And I'm just curious, like when we pick our partner, right? Like, are there any signs that might show us of being like, oh, like you're going to be a great mom. You're going to be a great dad. Because like a lot of times we are, in it to have children, have a family. Not always, but most of the time,
Put yourself in an environment. Go around your friends that have kids or your nieces and your nephews. See what this person is like. If they can't be bothered with the kid, and if the kids don't gravitate towards them, then I don't know. You got something to think about. And if you don't know if you want kids, I tell my clients, spend a weekend, adopt one of your friends or your family's kids. Keep a child for 24 hours. Because that's reality of what it's like to have a baby. Why didn't anybody give us this advice, right?
Yeah. No, I mean, that's actually really good advice. And if you survive those 24 hours.
Right. And if you're good, and yes, it's like when they're your own, you feel more attached, but it's that hard anyway, whether it's your kid or somebody else's.
I love it. I love it. No, that's such all really great advice. And I hope everybody listening, takes that or takes what they need from this episode. And I think it's really, really insightful. So I love that you're here telling us all about it. I did have a question for you when it kind of came to just kind of like your business and how you would kind of guide somebody who's coming to see you, right? Like they're like, hey, Bella, I need help. I want to find the right person, whatever it might be. So can you kind of guide us and walk us through your process of helping somebody find love? Like I'm Paulina and I'm coming to you. What does that look like with
it's
smart
deep,
dating?
girl. It's deep. I mean, we go through an inventory. I mean, we typically work with people for a minimum of a year, right? Because there's no one-hit wonders in this. There's 4 phases to this process. You're preparing to date. Then you learn our system. Then you get into the arena, you're dating. Then you sail through dating. Let's say you meet someone who's great. He's earned you. He's earned us, right? Then you move into exclusivity. And then exclusivity goes to happily ever after, right? So the first stage in preparing to date, we're taking inventory. What are your family of origin things? Like what happened with parents, step parents growing up? Let's look at all of your relationships. What drew you to this person? What worked? What didn't work? What was their responsibility? What was yours? And we do some analyses on those things. And then we help people through some amazing exercises determine who a partner is that's going to make you happy. So we have that. Then we teach them red flags. That's point number 2. And then how to pace all these people in what I call your dating funnel. Because now that you know what's going to make you happy, what the red flags are, you get on the apps. And now you're going to have multiple people in there. How do you pace those relationships to keep them slow and to see if the spark develops with people that are actually good for you? If you have bad dating patterns, you might only feel sparky with red flag people, and that ain't good.
I love that. So basically there's a lot to unpack, but you're kind of doing the work too with you, it sounds like.
You're doing the work, and I'm helping you do the work. Ask him this. Find out about this. Right? Ask more about his prior relationships. What was his family of origin like? What were his parents like? Like, find out all of these things. So we help people by listening and then helping to decide, does this person get another date or not? And then how do we move it to the next level and the next phase? What hoops do they have to jump through?
Yeah. Oh, that's so real. Okay. I like that. I like that a lot. So before we go, and obviously before we kind of, make sure we get your info, if you're, accepting clients and everything, people can come work with you, which I would love, love, love for you to share. I have a couple rapid fire questions for you, kind of just quick ones. Number 1 is, what is your biggest dating green flag? We covered red flags. What's your biggest green flag?
Consistency.
Ooh, but that's real. That's real.
Reliability.
Yeah.
Do they walk their walk?
That's why I married him, because he was so consistent, and it wasn't even annoying. It was just consistent. And I was not used to that.
No, right? If you have to guess if they like you, they probably don't.
Someone needed to hear that today. Oh my God. That was me 5 years ago though. So I appreciate that. What is your go-to piece of advice for someone going on a first date? Just a quick piece of advice.
Do video before you agree to go out and meet somebody for 2 hours, right? And just like this, get on video. You know me probably a hell of a lot better now after this interview than if we would have just been on the phone call, because you can look at this person's inflection. So do video before you agree to go out with somebody in person. And don't tell me, I'm on Zoom all day, blah, blah, blah. Nonsense. Get on a video call. Get on a FaceTime before you agree to meet somebody.
I 100%
Thank
agree.
me later.
Yes. No, I don't disagree with you. Because photos can be deceiving. Like you said, 50 pounds ago, whatever, 5-10 years ago, that's
all of
the reality, right?
All of it. All of it.
I love it. What is a self-care ritual that you swear by as a busy mom and business owner?
Sleep well and do things that bring you joy. You have to pour into yourself, right? It's nobody's job to make you happy. What makes you happy? And think about it. Is it talking to your best friend? Is it going out for a walk in the sunlight? Is it listening to your favorite news podcast? What are the things that bring you joy? And do those. Don't expect somebody else to make you happy. It's your job. It's an inside job.
100% agree with that. And then my last rapid fire for you is, what is one thing that most people misunderstand about love?
That it's a feeling.
Mm.
Long-term love is a decision. I'm deciding to commit to this person, and I'm deciding to be with them through the sleepless nights and the sleepful nights, through sickness and in health. Long-term attached love is a decision. Lust is nature's way of tricking us into attachment to somebody.
Ooh, that's deep. That's so true. I love it. Yeah, no, I love it. Thank you, Bela Gandhi, for being here today. Where can we follow you on social media? And then where can we work with you?
So listen to my podcast. There's almost 200 episodes, the Smart Dating Academy podcast, wherever you get your podcasts, just like this amazing podcast. Follow me on Instagram at Smart Dating Academy. We post every day dating tips, inspirations, and then go to my website, Smart Dating Academy. If you're really ready to invest in yourself, that's how you do this.
Awesome. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
All right, I'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Vacation with Melissa is your full-service travel agency specializing in all-inclusive resorts and destination events. They create seamless, stress-free vacations for families, couples, and groups, handling every detail so you can simply enjoy. Vacation with Melissa also offers education programs and career opportunities in the travel industry, helping others turn their passion for travel into a rewarding career. Whether you're ready to book your dream getaway or start your journey as a travel professional, they're here to help every step of the way. Visit vacationwithmelissa.com or find them on Instagram at Vacation with Melissa LLC.